liaisons. This is a very quick video to talk about some common feedback we get about the class that I think would be helpful for you to know so that you could message up front pretty quickly if this comes up. Two main things. One, logs and journals are repetitive. I don't like them. They're dumb, etc. And two, why do we have a class? The class is too long, etc. Okay, so one, the logs and journal complaint, we have added a section to the logs and to the syllabus about why those are important. Liability, we want to make sure we know what you're doing. Some people don't talk in seminar. We don't have enough time in seminar for every person to go through the details of their week. This helps me as a liaison know what you're doing. It's also a CSWE requirement that certain things are processed by students, which is why another reason we have logs and journals. I'm not going to go too much into that because you can read that in the syllabus, but I do just want you to be able to say very clearly, hey, guess what? When you get into an agency, you're going to have to document every single thing you do. So it really does give them practice in part of a social worker's job, unfortunately, which is heavy paperwork. So that's logs and journals. Number two is the class is long. Okay. For advanced students who are on the East Coast, I get it. It is 8 to 10 Thursday night. That is long and late. We can't really do much about that because we only have classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And there is a class before the field class on Thursday that advanced students take. So we really can't do much about that. Couple things we can do about it is message up front that logs and journals, just like logs and journals, help structure the field experience. So does the seminar time. So a liaison told me just last week that she had a student in the seminar who had a client earlier that day in a treatment facility. And she noticed another resident at the treatment facility was strongly flirting with her. She said she had a thought pass. I should probably document that, but she didn't document. Later, the client was sexually assaulted by that resident. Student came to seminar, oh my gosh, if I had documented, this would have never happened, et cetera, et cetera. And 14 of her colleagues surrounded her in support. That's not true. How do you know that would have happened? You did the right thing, you know, etc. So one little analogy that I heard that I think is really interesting to kind of transmit to students. If the field experience is a sandwich and the field hours on site, the things that students do with clients and groups and supervision and agency life is the meat of the sandwich. One slice of the bread is the field instruction and task supervision at the agency, so the context piece. The other piece of the bread is the field seminar with not only the liaison for support, but the entire class. And because field is considered the signature pedagogy of social work education, AKA where the rubber meets the road, AKA the most important thing, then we believe 1 hour is not enough. And we also believe an hour and a half is not enough. So the only class that is 2 hours is the field experience. There's one exception, which is a Schulman class, but it's highly content oriented. We believe so strongly in supporting students in the field that we have this 2-hour class. Now, if you're feeling especially as a new liaison, that like nobody's talking, you're having a hard time getting people going, then you and I might need to meet about a structure. We might want to talk about, like, in the live session plan, there are highs and lows. So like, beyond that, what do we need to do? Do we need to bring in an ethical dilemma to have discussion? Do we need to say, hey, Leanne Gardner, student, you wrote in your log about this ethical dilemma. I want you to talk about it. We have just found a lot of feedback about the class being too long. So I want to help you message why the class is that long, but then also help equip you to create a structure for how to conduct the class. And remember, that's in your live session plan. So we can talk more about that than what's beyond the live session plan as well. So those are a couple things that we get feedback about.